Guys, we're finally here, the show we've all been waiting for all year. This is World of Concrete 2020, and we're here at the Husqvarna booth for our first stop. I'm here with Stuart from Husqvarna, and he's introducing us right now to a brand new trench roller that they've just launched, the LP 9505. This is a lot different than trench rollers on the market. There's a couple of great features that he's already pointed out to me. He's going to run through them right now.
All right, so some of the great features on it, one of the first things you see when you walk up to this is the protective drum covers on it. So this allows you not to get material built up in there, and it's easier to get these extensions off. So right now it's set up at 33.5 inches wide. If you want to take your extensions off, simply take these hub covers off, take the bolts off to take the extensions off, and it takes you down to about 25 inches. Put the protective covers back on so you don't get debris and material built back up in there. Some of the other nice features on it is right here we have 2 articulating points on our machine. So it's a little bit stronger, more durable, and of course when you go to pick it up out of a hole with like an excavator.
That you were mentioning that it's not going to strain that one connection versus having the 2 that you guys have on this, right?
Exactly. So we really focused on serviceability with this machine and being operator friendly.
Right.
So another big feature on it is how we charge our battery system for our remote. So you have one battery in here in your remote at all times,
yep.
And then you have your other battery here charging at all times. So as soon as you turn your machine on, you're charging your battery.
Oh, okay.
You have about an 8-hour run time on a fully charged battery, so you can constantly rotate your batteries out so your operator doesn't have to tether it. The other big feature on ours is we have one safety light on top, but you don't see any line of sight for the remote.
Right.
Ours is radio frequency. That's the big difference. So we still have a 6-foot radius around the machine for protective that you cannot get to it. The machine won't operate.
So how does the machine sense that with the 6 feet? Is that through radio frequency as well?
That's through the radio frequency with the remote. So as soon as I'm within 6 feet, it'll stop. A symbol will come up on your remote.
And that's a proximity lockout basically, right? So if you enter that 6-foot perimeter, it'll stop so that you don't inadvertently run over your foot or hit another worker or something like that, right?
Just try not to run yourself over,
basically,
right?
Yeah.
So it's all about safety. Another nice feature with this is you have that 6-foot perimeter, and then you have up to about 115-foot distance with it.
115?
115.
That's crazy.
It's a pretty good little distance with it.
Huge.
Yeah. So that's very nice for guys that are standing up in a hole,
right,
and they're down, and this is down in the trench and they're doing their lifts. This makes it a lot easier for
especially line of sight, like you said. If you cross under something where there's coverage, or you go around a corner or something like that, it's not going to stop. Like, you'll have that control and connectivity to the machine too, right?
Always. Yeah. So the other big feature on ours is, like I mentioned, serviceability. So I'm going to pop the hood here and show you a couple things. So we have one of the larger fuel tanks in the market right now. On a full tank, you have about an 8-hour run time on it.
Sweet.
You have all your electronics are under here. So you have this protecting it for a tip over, in case this does tip over. Here's your radio frequency for the rear, and for the front is right up there on the hood.
Oh, so there's 2 receivers?
There are 2, yep.
Okay.
So you have a front and rear. So if you're not, somehow you have blockage on one, you still have another one, so you can get a signal. Yep. The other big feature on ours is hydraulic lines, okay? That's one of the biggest complaints on these machines is the serviceability, because with the amount of vibration these produce, these things kind of vibrate themselves apart a little bit, okay? So service is everything. Every single hydraulic line is individually labeled. So when the service mechanic is going to try to find this line that goes over to the other side over here, he can look and say, oh, here's 2019 CZ1. You can find the other tag over here. So he's not spending so much time trying to fish which line goes where. The other big feature on ours too is we only have one hydraulic line that goes down into the drum system, and that's for our drive gear.
Okay.
Competitors have a lot more lines going down there for their exciter. We have a manifold for our exciter. Everything right here, it's a little tough to see, but it's all hard line down there. So again, it's a lot easier for the servicing mechanics to get
So the
to.
hose stops above that, and you just have a hard channel or bored out path to manifold. So there's nothing to wear out inside of that drum or nothing that needs servicing.
Right, and so when that hydraulic line does go, they're not having to go and tear apart half the
Disassemble the
drum
whole thing,
to
yeah.
access that one hydraulic line.
So less downtime, you're faster. You can. Would you say that could be field replaceable or field repairable as well too?
Yeah,
or?
it could be, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've had a lot of guys out in the field so far that have really liked it. The service mechanics, they like this because they feel they don't have to take it back into their shop to work on it. They can send out a field tech, or if there's one already on that site, and he can maintenance these. So it makes it a little bit easier for them.
Awesome.
Some of the other nice features on this is we have some automatic shutoffs. You know, the symbols will come up on your remote, but if your hydraulic level on the spyglass over here, if the hydraulic level gets too low, the machine's going to cut out, and the symbol's going to come up and tell you. If your hydraulic level gets too hot, it's going to shut off. It's going to tell you. Same thing with your water coolant. If your diesel fuel gets too low, it's not gonna do an automatic shut off, but it'll warn you that, hey, it's time to put some fuel in it.
So do you have a readout on there, an active readout of the current fuel level, or is that something that still needs to be monitored?
No, there's no active readout on the fuel level. It's just a matter if it gets to a certain
low,
level,
it'll warn you then.
It'll tell you that it's too low. We have a Kubota D1105 engine in it. It's Tier 4 and Tier 4 final emissions.
Awesome.
Okay. It's about a 23.5 horsepower Kubota.
And then you were also mentioning the vibration peak force in your low and high?
Yeah, so on our remote itself, you have some options on it. So transportation, you go into Rabbit. If you want to do operating and start vibrating, then you go to Turtle. Okay, so your vibration levels over here, you have high frequency, which hits at 16,183 pounds per foot. Low frequency hits at 8,093. And then this is where you have your other options. So you have automatic mode or manual. Okay, so if I put it in manual mode and I hit high frequency, this thing's gonna sit there and vibrate in one spot.
Right.
As soon as I move, it's gonna keep vibrating. It does not stop. If I wanna go to automatic mode, if I'm stopped, it does not vibrate. As soon as I move, it vibrates. I like that model myself because especially with guys that are doing lifts, and if they're on an edge of a trench, if that shelf starts going and you stop,
you're gonna cut your vibration stops. Exactly.
But if you have that vibration still going, then it could vibrate.
Well, we use that a lot on the full-size rollers, like ride-on rollers. You don't want to sit in one spot and put a rut, or if you have to abruptly stop, traffic's crossing or something like that, and you don't have to think about shutting down your vibration. It's just automatic for you, right?
Right, it makes it easier. But some instances you want to feather one spot and hit it hard, you can do that.
Awesome.
So either way.
And just to run through for the viewers, so this is a left and right joystick, and then that controls articulation?
Yep, this will control you right and left, and then obviously forward and backwards. Then I went over the speeds on that one.
And that's your RPM?
This is your RPM, and this is your start and stop.
That's it, super simple.
Yep.
And then to swap the batteries on the back side,
to swap the batteries, you flip it out.
So this is almost like a battery, say, for a camera or whatever. You can just pop it out and pop it in. It's a cell instead of a hardwired battery that you need to plug in.
Right. There's no ports that you have to plug this into. No trickle charging. It's simple as as soon as you turn this on, your battery's charging there.
Awesome.
And it has a feature also of if you want to tether it and hardline it, you can still do that too.
So that would be this plug on the side here.
This would be the plug on the side there, and then you have your automatic safety shut off right here.
That's an emergency stop.
Emergency only.
Sweet.
So the horn symbol will come up. So you need to honk the horn, and then go ahead and push that. There you go. Hold it. That's your glow plug symbol right next to the battery. There you go. Okay. So right now you're too close to operate, so you're going to want to get back, and then you want to put your RPM up.
So that's the lockout symbol then, show that. If you're too close, it's going to say perimeter.
Right now it's on. I'm full throttle, I want to go. I can't move it, I'm too close. So it's just showing that you're too close. That same symbol will come up if you're too far away, or if something else is interfering.
So if somebody else is near the machine, but that's not holding the remote, it won't shut down,
Will not.
right?
Will not.
Because it doesn't know that
It doesn't.
you're there.
Yeah. Right. So you're going to want to articulate it a little bit to the right.
Oh, we're still
You're too close. There you go.
That's max? Oh, there we go.
There you go.